Good morning, Central Baptist Church family. I have a confession today, and it probably is no secret. I hate diets. I think diets are the worst. I myself love sweets. I love sugar of any kind. I love sweet tea. I love food in general. I'm a foodie. I like to go try new foods in new restaurants, and I'll eat weird things. I don't care, and I like to eat a lot of it. If it's really good tasting, I'm going to consume it. I like food. And the opposite of food is diets. It's self-inflicted suffering, but it's for a good cause. It's not like self-inflicted suffering like I made a mistake and I've hurt, because of my mistake I'm suffering for it. But it's more like, hey, I'm choosing to suffer now by depriving myself of things I love so that I don't die prematurely. That's really what a diet is. And I think 1 Peter chapter 4 is kind of speaking of spiritual dieting. It says in 1 Peter 4 verse 1, it says, "For as much then as Christ hath suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind. For he that hath suffered in the flesh hath ceased from sin, that he no longer should live the rest of his time in the flesh to the lusts of men, but to the will of God." I think one awesome part about not only Jesus Christ coming to this earth to die on the cross of Calvary for our sins was that he came to this earth as a man. He was 100% God, 100% man, the hypostatic union. And as a man, he lived a sinless life. He still suffered temptation. He still suffered many of the same struggles, if not all the same struggles that we suffer on a regular basis. And he was able to conquer all of them while being in the flesh as a human being. I mean, if you remember the time that Satan literally tempted Jesus Christ after 40 days of fasting. I mean, if I go a day fasting, I'm ready to die. I can't imagine going that long and then being tempted with something. Your mind would be so weak. You would be emotionally drained. You would be so just worn down already. So to be tempted on top of that, it would be very easy to give in. But Jesus Christ suffered all those things to give us a demonstration, to set an example for us, to say, hey, I conquered it in the flesh. You can too. And that's why it says in verse 1, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind. We must suffer self-inflicted suffering. We must enact self-inflicted suffering on ourselves to deprive ourselves of sinful things. Sinning is easy. Anybody can sin. Anybody can give in to temptation. What's hard and what requires self-discipline is to resist temptation and sin. And so what the very clear truth here is if you're going to be spiritually successful and avoid sin and avoid temptation, you must deprive yourself of sinfulness. You must practice this self-discipline in your life. Again, just as Jesus Christ did it, as so many others have done it before us, we must practice that same thing. And again, we're not going to be sinless, we're not going to be perfect, but we should still strive, we should still fight for a righteous lifestyle. And that means giving up a few things. That means doing some things that are going to be painful. Maybe giving up some friends, giving up some certain lifestyle choices, having some tough conversations with certain people to make sure that your sinful life choices cannot happen anymore because you're depriving yourself of every opportunity to do those things. Jesus Christ did it. We can too.